William and Kate have been making a decision that could literally reshape the future of the monarchy. And no, it's not about Harry's latest Netflix complaint or Meghan's jam empire. We're talking about where an 11-year-old future king goes to school. Because apparently, even royal toddlers can't escape the British obsession with educational snobbery. Welcome back to Royal Cookies, where we serve up the juiciest royal gossip with a side of heart-wrenching humanity. Please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Buckle up, buttercaps, because today we're diving into the most dramatic school selection process since Hermione Granger chose Gryffindor over Ravenclaw. Here's the tea. Prince George is set to leave Lambrook School in 2026 when he turns 13, and according to well-placed sources, William and Kate have reportedly chosen Eton College for their eldest son's senior school education. But hold on to your fascinators, because this decision has been more back and forth than Boris Johnson's political career. Look, I know what you're thinking, it's just a school, calm down. But honey, this isn't just any school decision. This is like choosing the blueprint for a future king. Think of it as the ultimate character creation screen for Britain's next monarch. George currently attends Lambrook School in Berkshire, but it only goes up to year 8, which means William and Kate are facing every parent's nightmare: secondary school applications. Except their choice doesn't just affect family dinner conversations. It shapes how the future head of state will view the world. Here's where it gets juicy. The school George attends will determine his social circle, his worldview, and potentially his approach to monarchy. Will he be the people's king if he goes co-ed? Or will he embrace traditional royal values at an all-boys institution? It's like a real-life game of chess, but instead of pawns, we're moving future monarchs around a very expensive board. Let's put this in perspective, shall we? Every royal school choice echoes through history. Charles went to Gordonstown. Hello? Character-building Scottish wilderness experience that probably explains his love of organic farming and talking to plants. William went to Eton, and look how that turned out. Charming, diplomatic, but with just enough rebellious streak to marry a commoner and make it work brilliantly. Eton College, the Rolls-Royce of British education, where prime ministers are manufactured like luxury handbags. George has already visited Eton with William and Kate in 2024, which is basically the royal equivalent of a first date that went well enough for a second. This is where William learned to be charming, diplomatic, and how to wear a tailcoat without looking like a Victorian ghost. Eton's produced more prime ministers than Boris Johnson has produced scandals. And that's saying something. The networking opportunities alone could power the British economy. But here's the kicker: Eton is boys only. In 2025, that's about as modern as using a Nokia 3310. It's like sending your future king to learn about ruling half the population while completely ignoring the other half. Bit ironic, considering his grandmother was literally the most powerful woman in the world for 70 years. Now, Marlborough College in Wiltshire, where Princess Catherine was educated, is understood to be the preferred choice for her eldest son. This is where our future queen learned to be brilliant, and frankly, it shows. Marlborough is coeducational, which means George would actually learn to interact with both halves of humanity. Revolutionary concept. I know. It's like preparing a future monarch for the radical idea that women exist and have opinions. Imagine that. The British press has reported a constant back and forth. First they'd choose Marlborough, then pivot to Eton, then back to Marlborough. It's been more indecisive than a British person trying to decide if it's warm enough to go without a coat. Kate has been spotted touring elite London schools, including Highgate School, which boasts a 78% A or A* pass rate at A-levels in 2024. That's like academic royalty right there. A London school would mean George could live at home. Imagine that. A future king who actually gets to see his parents for dinner. It's almost normal. Which, knowing the royals, is probably the most revolutionary choice of all. According to sources, Kensington Palace is delaying George's school announcement over concerns about public reaction. Let that sink in. They're worried about what we think about an 11-year-old school choice. It's like the ultimate helicopter parenting, but with added constitutional implications and about 1,000,000 times more pressure. Can you imagine the family WhatsApp group right now? Should we send George to Eton like daddy, or Marlborough like mummy? Also, the Daily Mail is camping outside again. This decision perfectly captures the impossible balancing act of modern royalty. Too traditional? They're out of touch. Too progressive? They are destroying tradition. It's like trying to please everyone at a family reunion. Impossible and guaranteed to end in tears. William and Kate are essentially trying to raise a normal child who happens to be destined to rule a nation. No pressure there. They want George to understand both privilege and responsibility, tradition and progress. It's like trying to be relatable while living in a palace. Good luck with that. According to education expert Melanie Sanderson, the Wales family's presence at Lambrook has completely changed its dynamic. Imagine being a teacher there, right class? Today we're learning about constitutional monarchy. Let's spare a thought for George himself, shall we? He's 11 years old, turning 12 on July 22nd, and his school choice is front page news. At his age, most kids are worried about whether their crush likes them back. George is worried about constitutional implications of his education. This kid has spent his entire life being future King George instead of just George who's quite good at football. Every school photo, every sports day, every minor tantrum is analyzed like it's a state document. The poor lad probably can't even fail a spelling test without someone writing a thesis about the decline of royal literacy. If you're obsessed with royal strategy and environmental impact like I am, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Cookies because we're serving up the most sustainable royal content on YouTube. And remember, in a world full of fast fashion and royal scandals, sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is wear your values on your sleeve, preferably in a gorgeous shade of green.